After Coach Bob's FOBO TPMS installation, I asked him if I could dovetail in from a factory perspective. You see, I work for a company that actually manufactures TPMS along with a lot of other things, as we're a billion-dollar corporation. The key here is that I want to bring some information to you that maybe you're not aware of. Generally speaking, the public doesn't know what the light means. Over 42% of the driving public doesn't know what it means. And it can be critical if it gets ignored. It's a yellow light, it's not a red light. I would like to see that it would be a red light, but I'm not the government, so that's probably not going to happen. 35% of the drivers out there fail to check their pressures on a regular basis or have never checked their pressure. And as you can see, there's cost, there's lives that can be saved if people would simply check their pressures, according to NHTSA. There are two types of systems, active or passive. I'm not going to get into too much technical because I could do hours on TPMS. But as Bob pointed out yesterday, temperature affects pressure. These are the readings on my vehicle, which are supposed to be at 35. These are the readings when I got home last night and the ambient temperature was 101. These are the readings when I got up this morning and was headed out the door to go to work. And you can see I'm running below recommended at 35, but how much the pressure has dropped was 3-4 pounds, which is kind of amazing. So it is important that you check them when the vehicle is cold and not driven more than half a mile is what's recommended. Here are actual sensors. They can be expensive. You should replace them when you get new tires, if not sooner, because they do have batteries in them and they will wear out. Passive systems don't provide temperature or don't provide pressure readings, and there's a lag in the readings. And the principal reason for the lag is that the computer is trying to make certain that it doesn't trigger the light prematurely. Plus, it's also got a lot of calculating to do to make certain that it's not an ABS problem and it's not a traction control problem. If it goes a long way with the tires being slower or faster, then it will trigger the light. But I mean long ways. It could be minutes or miles before it will actually trigger it. Depends upon the system. So is it faster or slower? You can hum the Jeopardy tune to yourself if you want. But the primary reason is it is faster. It's reading faster. If you said faster, great. Pause, go get a cookie, bring me back a chocolate chip if you would. I'd appreciate it. The bottom line is that pressures are important without question. Now, since there are options like the passive uses the wheel speed sensors. Guess what? This is a wheel speed sensor from the right front side of my Spyder. Obviously, CRB or BRP does not use wheel speed sensors and doesn't provide any sort of tire pressure monitoring system as a result. Here's the back wheel, by the way. But they could, but the wheel speed sensors in this case are used primarily for the traction control and the ABS. And that's their primary function on these vehicles. But I wanted to point them out because you don't want to get magnets or drill particles or anything like that around it. And by all means, don't start beating on them with the hammer because I got this, hold my beer kind of a thing. So appreciate the time, appreciate the coach letting me dovetail in on it. And if you would, please leave me a comment and also check your tire pressure regularly.